Hi guys, it's Justine. I am doing a different kind of video today. It's going to be more of a vlogging style video, which normally I do like sit down videos if you're new to my channel and don't already know that. Today tomorrow my husband and I and my kids, I guess, are going to celebrate an early Valentine's Day dinner because I am at school all day on Valentine's Day and I won't have time when I get home to make dinner. I guess my husband can make it, but I planned a menu and I'm really excited for it. So I'm just going to bring you along and show you what I'm making. A lot of these things I am making for the first time. I'm not really following any exact recipes, but I was inspired by a lot of different things on Pinterest. So I'm just going to start out by telling you what I'm making. It is actually about 10:30 at night and we are having dinner tomorrow night, but I'm going to start on like some desserts and some meal prep and stuff tonight. And so yeah, so for the main course, I have it all written down, so that's why I'm looking down. So for the main course, I'm making lobster tails, which I've never done before, and I'm using frozen lobster tails, which I got in like the frozen seafood section at Walmart. I was going to get fresh lobster tails at Fred Meyer, but they were so expensive. Like for the price that the fresh lobster tails were, we could literally go to like Red Lobster and eat a meal there. So I decided to just get frozen lobster tails because it was a lot cheaper. I'm also gonna make filet mignon, which I will show you in a little bit what I got, but they're already pre-cut and already like wrapped in bacon. I bought them that way at Walmart. And I made them last year for Valentine's Day and they came out pretty good, so I'm gonna make them again. I'm also going to make mashed potatoes and a like gravy sauce to go with the mashed potatoes and with the filet mignon, and green beans with Parmesan and garlic. And then for my son, because he's gonna be having dinner with us, I'm gonna make him mac and cheese, but I'm gonna cut up some pieces of bacon to put in the mac and cheese, and I'm also gonna use the bacon grease as part of the gravy. So I'll show you all that when I'm cooking it tomorrow, which will be in this video, obviously. And then for dessert, I'm going to, I have like chocolate shot glass. Well, I have shot glass molds, and so I'm going to make chocolate cups with those and fill them with vanilla pudding and decorate them with raspberries and like little chocolate things. And I'm also going to make little mini red velvet cakes, which I've never made them before. I saw some like little like mini stacked cakes on Pinterest and they looked really cute, so I'm going to try it out myself. And then that's really it. So I am gonna like try to decorate everything, make it look really like classy and like gourmet sort of. So yeah, so this is my first time, like I said, doing like kind of a holding the camera style vlog. So if the editing is really crappy, I apologize because my editing is already really crappy on videos that it shouldn't be crappy on. So yeah, my arm hurts from holding this camera up, so I'm just going to get started and show you what I am doing. So yeah. So the first thing that I'm doing tonight to just prepare for tomorrow is I'm starting on the dessert. I am making red velvet cake, and I am just using this Betty Crocker Delights cake mix, and I am just making it exactly the same way that the cake mix box describes, with 1 1/4 cups of water, half a cup of veggie oil, and 3 eggs. So that's it for the cake. I put it in like a really big pan because I'm going to, here, let's open this up. I'm going to be cutting the pieces of cake with a heart cookie cutter. I might actually use a smaller heart. Hold on. Oh, I have a circle too, so maybe I'll use a circle. But we'll see what I actually end up doing. I think if I use the heart ones, I can line the hearts up and get more waste less cake by doing it that way, whereas the circle, there's going to be a lot more extra cake left over, if that makes sense. So that is for that. I have the cake in the oven right now and I will show it to you when it gets out. I also broke out our nice plates and glasses. I use nice in quotation marks because the plates that we usually use are like Corel plates from Goodwill. But these, we only really use these for like holidays. Same thing with the glasses. I wasn't sure how many we're gonna need because it's me, my husband, my son, and then we'll need dessert plates, which we don't have dessert plates and nice plates. We only have like little mini Corel dessert plates, but since we're doing 2 desserts, I thought a big plate might be fine. So I need to wash all these because they've been in storage. Last time I used these was probably Christmas, which was like 2 months ago. So I'm going to, oh no, not even Christmas. So I don't remember last time we've used these then. But they are a bit dusty, so I need to wash them. And then I got these glasses out. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna use one of these glasses for my son quite yet, because he is getting old enough where he can drink out of glasses, but I'm still a bit nervous letting him use one. Then I also just got out some champagne glasses. We'll probably put like wine or soda or something in them, and then water in these. We have 2 wine glasses, but they're not a matching set because we always just break our wine glasses. But like, they're not very expensive. They're not very expensive wine glasses anyways. So yeah, I decided to use these ones because they are a matching set. And then also, I talked about this in my favorites video for January. My husband actually got me this candle last year for Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna put it on the table. I'm trying to burn the last of it since we've had it for like literally a year. And then a red tablecloth. I wanted to get fresh flowers, but I totally spaced when I was at the grocery store. But I'm gonna put these on the table. This is actually a bouquet from a wedding that I was in when I was a bridesmaid, and it's just perfect for Valentine's Day. Have it in a little glass. And then these, I did a haul like last January 2016, and I got these 3 at Dollar Tree, and so that's perfect. So I'm probably gonna put these at like each place setting, so that just to spruce it up a bit. Next year I'll need a 4th one because my daughter will be old enough to eat with us. So yeah, so that's just how I'm gonna decorate the table. I'm going to put these in the dishwasher, and I will see you when I get back to cooking. Another thing that I thought I would mention, since the cake is still cooking, is even though we're not celebrating Valentine's on Valentine's Day, I did get a couple of things for a Valentine's Day breakfast. It's nothing really special, but just something a little extra for actual Valentine's Day. So the first thing I got are these break and bake scones. They are chocolate cherry with vanilla flavored icing packet. I don't think I've ever made scones homemade before, and these just seemed really easy. Plus they sound really good, chocolate cherry scones. So I got these at Walmart. They were in one of those like center aisle sort of things near like the refrigerator sections. And I've never seen these before, but I thought I would try it out. I think it's perfect for Valentine's Day. I also got this white chocolate raspberry International Delight for coffee. I will probably be already at school by the time my kids and my husband wake up, so I'll probably just make these on Monday night, which is the 13th, and then that way on Tuesday morning my husband and my kids will wake up and they'll already be cooked, and they can just have them for breakfast, and I'll take one to school with me. But yeah, just a little something extra since, you know, I won't be around until like Valentine's Day night. So the red velvet cake is done. One tip that I have is, as you can see, the cake pan is lined with aluminum foil. Whenever I do a cake that I know I'm going to be flipping over, I line it with either aluminum foil or parchment paper, because that helps it from sticking to the cake pan. Because sometimes even if I spray down the cake pan, I notice that there are issues, and sometimes the cake will still crumble or crack or something. So that is just a tip that I have. It makes it a lot easier to flip the cake over and flip out. As you can see, there are some cracks in the cake, but that is not going to be a huge deal for the purpose that I will be using it for, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'm just going to let this cool off before I do the next step, which is going to be taking cookie cutters and cutting pieces out of the cake. I'm not quite sure which size cookie cutter I'm going to use yet, because I think the bigger heart shapes would I think they would be a lot nicer, but I'm not sure if we can get enough pieces of cake because I would like to do three mini cakes each with 3 layers, and I'm just not sure if there's enough cake for that. So I might just do a bunch of little mini ones with the tiny hearts, but I guess we'll see. So while the cake is cooling off, I'm going to go ahead and start on the glasses for the chocolate pudding dessert that I'm going to make. My sister got me these chocolate shot glass molds off of Amazon. It's a silicone mold, so these can go in the oven. But what I'm actually going to do is take these chocolate chips. I got the Plymouth Pantry flavored chocolate chips. These were just the cheapest ones. You could really use any kind of chocolate you want. Melting chocolate might be your best bet though if you've never like used something like this before, just because that chocolate's like specifically made for melting. I'm going to put the chocolate chips in here, just a little bowl. So I'm just going to put these in this bowl, put it in the microwave at 10-second intervals, and every time like 10 seconds goes off, I'm going to stir it, put it back in for another 10 seconds until it's completely melted, and then I'm going to put them in here. I'm not quite sure how many molds I'm gonna do. Even though I only need 3, I might do 4 just in case, but I'm also going to be using the chocolate for some little decor pieces, so I might only do a 4th one if I have enough chocolate, so we will see. So now these are all filled up. Make sure that you check the sides to make sure that there's no little air bubbles. This is like dirt or something. Those aren't air bubbles. But just to make sure that there aren't any air bubbles, also make sure, I already did this, but bang them on the table or the counter just to make sure chocolate gets all the way to the bottom to fill in any air bubbles. This is still, what I ended up doing actually is I was having a hard time making sure there was chocolate getting to the bottom, so I actually put actual chocolate chips in there and then put it in the microwave to get the chocolate on the top melted, because that helped the chocolate chips on top of already melted chocolate put weight on top of the chocolate so that it dripped down further. And so this silicone is actually a little warm. You could also just fill it up with chocolate chips and then put it in either the microwave or the oven. I probably should have just done that in the first place. It would have been a lot easier. But yeah, so the silicone is hot, so I'm gonna let it cool off to room temperature before I put these in the fridge. And then tomorrow, after they've been in the fridge for a while, I'm going to pop them out. You can also probably, I didn't do this, but you can also probably spray the sides of these with like a cooking oil, and that will help get them out a lot easier. But I guess tomorrow we'll see how easy they come out. So now I'm going to take the last of these chocolate chips and melt them, and I'm going to use them to make little decorations for the red velvet cake. So if you can't already tell, or if you don't melt chocolate a whole lot, I did burn it a tiny bit, which are what those little clumps are. I did add a tiny bit of olive oil just to make it more drizzlier, because I'm going to drizzle it into little pretty designs on this parchment paper, so that way I can just stick them on top of the red velvet cake and it will look really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then just show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so I made a few different like designs for what could potentially go on the red velvet cake for decorations. These 3 right here were kind of what I originally pictured, just drizzling chocolate on and make it random, but I just don't think that it's gonna come off of the parchment paper very easily. I think they're gonna break. So the next thing I did is I made a couple like this, and I put a glob of chocolate with a spoon, and then I took a toothpick and just kind of made some swirly designs. The chocolate's a lot thicker, so they might come off a lot easier. I also made a 3rd one right here. And then just in case those don't work, I also took the tip of the spoon and just took a big glob of chocolate and dragged it into a heart shape. I didn't want to make a filled in like perfect heart because I do want them to look kind of like artistic and dainty. I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to use. Then I also just have some random things that I was like experimenting with on these papers. but I'm just gonna let them dry, peel them off, and see which ones come out best. What I might end up doing is even just use a different design for each cake, just to see how they turn out. So there's that. I'll show you what they look like when they come off, but next I'm going to be finishing up the red velvet cakes. So I flipped the red velvet cake over, but when I flipped it over, there even more cracks formed on the other side. So I've decided that I am going to use the little heart-shaped cookie cutter. That way I can get more pieces out of the cake, and if any pieces are ruined, then it's not a huge deal because there will be more to potentially use. And so yeah. So these are all of the different ones that came out good when I was cutting them up with the cookie cutter. Some are a little bit better than others, especially if you look at this side. Some of them on the side are kind of falling apart, but some of them are really good and really sturdy. So I'm going to try to take the ones that are most sturdy and serve those ones for dinner, and then the rest can be leftovers. What I also did is with all of the extra, since I was using cookie cutters, there wasn't a lot of extra cake. I put them in a Ziploc baggie, and I'm going to put these in the freezer, and one day if I feel like making cake pops, then I will have some cake already made. I can take it out of the freezer, let it defrost, and just make it into cake pops. So that way all this cake doesn't go to waste. I put the date on it so I know what this is from. I labeled it red velvet for cake pops. So that's just so it doesn't go to waste, and those are all the little cakes. I'm probably just going to stack 2 together. In my head I had kind of planned stacking 3, but I just don't think, that's probably going to be too tall and they're probably going to fall over, especially because they are not as sturdy as I kind of imagined. Some of them are pretty good, but some of them do have kind of chunks missing or cracks in them. So yeah, I should be able to get a decent amount, and then there'll be a few for leftovers, and then someday in the future I have this for cake pops. I'm also going to stick these in the freezer just for maybe like an hour or so before I stack them, just to firm them up a tiny bit more. So yeah. So now all of the chocolate has dried. It's all hardened now. The shot glasses came out great. These were so easy to take out of the mold. It was a lot easier than I expected. These are pretty sturdy, so they're probably going to be like hard to bite through because they're really thick, especially the bottom. I don't know how well you can see, but they're not very deep. I was going to fill them with pudding. I'm probably not going to get a ton of pudding inside, so I mean, we'll probably have pudding, we will have pudding left over. We'll probably just have it for other desserts and just put them in normal bowls. And then these came out really good. I kind of like the heart ones better, which is surprising because I thought I would like these swirly ones better. This one did break right here, but I think if I stick that side into the cake, into the frosting, you won't even be able to tell. I'm not even sure if someone would be able to tell now other than me, but all the rest came off really well. As I predicted, these ones, which were the ones that I kind of originally had in mind, I couldn't even get them off. Like immediately they started breaking because the chocolate was just too thin. But I'm gonna have definitely more than 3 cakes, so I'll probably be able to get to use all of these. It's just a matter of which ones I want to use during the actual dinner. But I'm really happy with how they all turned out. They all look really good. Like I said, I especially like the heart ones, and the shot glasses came out really good as well. Okay, so I went ahead and stacked the cakes, and these 2, this one's an extra one, but these 2 are all ready. I can't pick them up because they're just crumbling too much. And then these 6 are the 6 that came out good, and even a couple of them are just starting to tilt a little, and they're just not as pretty as I expected. I am the top of them, I am putting those, sticking those chocolate designs in, and I also plan on putting raspberries on top. But I don't know, so far I'm just kind of disappointed in the way they look. Hopefully they'll look more complete then. And even these ones, even though they're not falling apart yet, they are still very delicate. So I'm kind of regretting stacking them already because they have to last until tomorrow at dinner. So I really hope that at least 3 make it, and I'm not going to stick the chocolate in or put the raspberries on top until last minute because I just already have a bad feeling that these are going to fall over. what I did for the chocolate is I put it in a piping bag and I just piped it in the middle and on top. I'm not putting chocolate around them. I mean, they might look prettier if I did, but I was kind of going for one of those like rustic cake looks, but it just looks a lot messier than that. But I guess it's not too bad for my first time doing these little mini cakes. So I don't know, I just really hope that they come out good for tomorrow. I also forgot to mention this, but I used the oh my gosh, you can tell it's like almost midnight. I used the Betty Crocker whipped chocolate frosting. There's still a ton left, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge and save it for probably when we make cake pops. Normally I use cream cheese frosting with red velvet cake, but I don't know, when I was at the store, this really popped out at me. It looked good. So we'll see how it tastes with the red velvet. But yeah, like I said, there is a ton left. I can use that with the cake pops as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is make the pudding. This is just the Great Value instant pudding and pie filling in vanilla. I'm just going to make it in a bowl, and I'm going to put this bowl directly in the fridge like this because it doesn't need to look pretty, because I'm going to be piping it into the chocolate cups to make it look pretty then. So I'm just going to mix it in here and put it in the fridge in this bowl. So here's the pudding all mixed together. It only, directions only require 2 cups of cold milk. And I am losing it, you guys, because I was thinking that this was going to need to set overnight, and it's freaking instant pudding. It only takes 5 minutes to set, so I could have done this tomorrow, but at least it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge anyways because I don't need it till tomorrow. I'm not gonna be putting it in the chocolate cups until right before we eat them. So there's that, and that is the last, I think that's the last prep thing I'm gonna do for tonight. I'll just show you a couple other things before I finish for the night. So really the last thing that I'm going to do is I got these frozen lobster tails. They are Sea Best, caught in cold water. I don't really know what the best kind of lobster tails are. I just got these at Walmart in the frozen fish section, frozen seafood section. Like I said, I've never made lobster tails before. It comes with butter. I don't know why, but it comes with butter, and I'm just going to put these from the freezer to the fridge so that they can defrost. I'm not going to be making them until tomorrow evening, so that way they have a long time to defrost, and then they won't be frozen when I need to actually cook them. So that's just what I'm going to do, put these in the fridge, and yeah, I think everything else I will be doing tomorrow. So I also thought that I would show what I got my kids for Valentine's Day right before I go to bed. I'm gonna give them their presents tomorrow, since tomorrow is really the day that we're celebrating. So first off, I got my son this Balmer Cuddly Cuties milk chocolate. It's a little frog because he likes reptiles, so that's his first little gift. And then I also, this isn't like super Valentine's Day, but it does have like the little Valentine's Day to from card in it, and it's just a snake because, like I said, he likes reptiles. And this, all of these are from Walmart. This was $4.98. The chocolate was $1. And then I got this little stuffed animal for my daughter. She's only about 2 months old, so she doesn't really care about Valentine's Day. She doesn't know what's going on. It's her first Valentine's Day. This was $2.98, and it's just a little purple bear. It doesn't say anything, just a little purple bear with rainbow polka dots. And then I also got them some shirts. They don't really have like Valentine's Day themed shirts for little boys. They have them for like baby boys and toddler boys, but for little boys they don't. So I just got him a red shirt, again from Walmart. This was $4.97. I'll go ahead and take the tag off. And it's just a shirt with like spaceships and astronauts, and then the first speech bubble, there's another tag on it. It says, Shuttle 5 to space control, activating warp engines in 3, 2, 1. And then it says at the bottom, space control to Shuttle 5, nice flying kid, mission is a go. And it's just kind of like a little comic book type shirt. I thought he might like that. My husband is really into like space, and like he really I don't know, I was just interested in space, so I thought my husband would like it too. And yeah, and I just picked it out because they would like it, and it's red, so it's like a Valentine's color shirt at least, since they don't really have Valentine's themed shirts. And then for my daughter, I just got this one, and it's pink glitter, which I love, and love XOX. And what I like about this is it doesn't actually say the word Valentine's on it, because I prefer holiday shirts that you can wear all year round that aren't specific to that holiday. With my son, for example, I had a shirt that said my first, or a onesie that said my first Valentine's on it for him, and he literally only wore it on Valentine's Day. He wore it once, that was it. And so for this baby, I'm trying not to buy shirts like that. And so I got this one, and this one was $3.25. So, you know, for baby clothes, Walmart is really the way to go, because I was looking at Valentine's onesies on Amazon, and like I think the cheapest ones were like $12. So this is great. And yeah, so that is it for what I got my kids for Valentine's Day for their presents. And yeah. Also, I didn't get my husband anything for Valentine's Day, because really that's kind of our tradition, is just to have like a dinner at home for Valentine's Day, because both of our birthdays are in February, and so we usually do stuff for our birthdays, and then on Valentine's Day we just have like a really nice dinner at home, and we don't really exchange gifts because we're already exchanging gifts on our birthdays. And then our anniversary is also in March, so yeah, we just have like a lot of stuff going on that short amount of time, so we just don't really do that Valentine's Day, just do the dinner. So yeah. Hi guys, so it is Saturday, it's about 5:30 p.m. I just finished doing my hair and makeup, and now I'm going to find something to wear for tonight. I was thinking about wearing a dress, but I'm still trying to lose my postpartum baby bod, so I might just wear like a red or pink shirt, and then dress it up with like some jewelry or something. I'm really not sure yet if I want to go fancy or casual, but I'm gonna look in my closet and just see what I have. And then I'm going to start making dinner. My husband doesn't get off till pretty late tonight, so it's probably gonna be a late dinner. I have a hair on my lip. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just finish up this Valentine's Day prep. Okay, so I just decided to go with a plain pink shirt and yoga leggings, because I just don't really feel like getting dressed up, especially since it's probably gonna be a late dinner. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually start cooking now, even though I have plenty of time to get food done. I'm just gonna go ahead and start it. Okay, so you might hear my kids and the TV in the background because they're in the living room watching TV and playing. But next I'm making mashed potatoes. I'm using these itty bitty potatoes that I got at Costco, and I just, oh, it's like still steamy. I just finished boiling them and I drained them, and I'm gonna make mashed potatoes out of them. I like to leave the skins on. I think it gives it like a texture. But I'm just going to add butter, milk, and salt to make them. I'm not using exact amounts, I'm just kind of estimating until they're done. And then I'm also put some green beans. I washed them and clipped the ends, and I just put them on a pan, and I'm going to put these in the oven. I have the oven at 350, preheating to 350, and like I said, I don't have an exact amount of time that I'm putting them in the oven, just until I think they're about done. I like them a tiny bit crispy. Normally I will mix together butter, salt, and minced garlic and put it on top, and then when they're almost done I'll put Parmesan on top of that. But I think I'm going to actually make a sauce out of those this time instead, and put the sauce on top just to make it a little more fancy, a little more gourmet. I don't really know if that's fancier, but I always think of like sauce is like on top of veggies is like a fancy sort of thing. But yeah, so that is the next step. I'm also got a pot of water. I'm going to start boiling that to make mac and cheese for my son. So here are the mashed potatoes. They are done. I'm almost wishing that I did actually peel them, because I am going for like kind of a gourmet looking meal, and this looks not quite gourmet. So, but oh well, it'll work. Mac and cheese is on, and then green beans are in the oven. And next I'm going to start on bacon to go with the mac and cheese. So yeah. Okay, so mac and cheese is done and bacon is done. What I did is I cut it up and then I fried it up and I just put it on top, and now I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to keep all of the leftover bacon grease because I'm going to use that for the gravy for the mashed potatoes. So I'm just going to put that to the side because I will be using that. I'm going to mix this together, and my son fell asleep and it's like 7 o'clock, so who knows when he's going to wake up, but since he's fell asleep this late, he's probably gonna be up till like midnight now. So, but this is his dinner because obviously a 4-year-old is not going to eat filet mignon or lobster. So yeah, and mostly I did the bacon because my husband made jalapeno poppers for Super Bowl, and we had bacon left over from those that we need to use up, so I figured I'd just throw it in, and then it also just gives me grease, so then I have something to make gravy out of. Otherwise I'd have to wing it or get like a packaged gravy. So there's that, and I just used, you know, cheap Kraft mac and cheese. Okay, so green beans are out of the oven and I made a sauce for them. It is just butter, minced garlic, stuffing. My husband just got home and he's making fun of me. It's butter, minced garlic, Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm just going to... Garrett, stop. I hate you. And I just melted it all together on the stove and going to drizzle this on top of the green beans. So I have lobster tails in the oven, and I'll explain how I did those in a minute. But this is the filet mignon that I got at Walmart. It's pre-cut and it's already wrapped in bacon, so that's why the bacon grease used for the gravy will go nice with it. And so I'm just going to do these on top of the stove. Okay, so here are the lobster tails. Basically what I did is I put them in the oven and broiled them for 5 minutes, took them out, brushed the tops with butter, and broiled them for another 5 minutes, and now they're done. I will have a link from Pinterest on how to cut them open and like flip the lobster on top of the meat, on top of the tail. My husband had to help me with that because I couldn't figure it out. So that will be linked down below. Now I'm starting on the gravy. I should actually call it a sauce, but it's kind of like a gravy sauce, and so I just put in some butter with the bacon grease, and I added some like half of a small onion and cut it up, and then a few mushrooms. I also took the filet mignon, and now it is in the oven broiling for 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes after I like had it on the stove and like fried the top and the bottom. So, and these are the last two things I am working on. Once the mushrooms and the onions are browned, I'm going to add in a bit of milk and a bit of flour just to thicken it up a bit. So the filet mignon is still in the oven broiling, but my son is hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and let him eat. Here's his mac and cheese with bacon, green beans with garlic Parmesan sauce, and mashed potatoes with onion, mushroom, bacon, gravy / sauce, whatever you want to call it. And so there's his food, and he also has a glass of chocolate milk because it's a holiday, so I'm gonna let him have a treat, even though his bacon mac and cheese isn't exactly the healthiest entree. He won't eat all this because he's only 4. This is quite a bit of food for him, but there is his meal. I already started serving, but this is what the finished gravy looks like. And this is the finished product: filet mignon on gravy and mashed potatoes, lobster, and green beans with sauce. So now on to dessert. I took the pudding that we made last night, put it into this piping thing, and then I'll show you the tip that I used. I don't know how well you can see that. And then I just filled the chocolate shot glasses, and then I'm going to put raspberries on top. Also put the chocolate designs into the cake things. It didn't come out as nice as I thought it would. I think they're too big for these little cakes. I think I'm going to actually use the ones with the heart designs for the plates though, for dinner. And then here is the finished dessert. I decorated with some raspberries, and then I took a sifter and put some cocoa powder and white or powdered sugar both on the bottom of the plate before I put everything on. And then I put both of the desserts on the plate, and that's how it looked. I will turn it this way because I think the lighting is better over here. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so we just finished eating and now I'm going to clean the kitchen. Everything came out really, really good. If you stayed and watched the whole video, thank you so much for watching. My Instagram and Twitter will be linked down below, and that is it. See you next time. Bye.